He had a 40.5 vert. But I was like, what would you do right now before he goes and plays? What would you do? And they said, we wouldn't draft him. Both of them said they would not draft him.
Before we watch this, bro, I just want to say I am not hating on Bronny James. I really don't give a fuck either way. I'm a realist, bro. You know what I'm saying? God wants me to tell you the truth, and the truth is, everybody is meat right on LeBron, like heavy. Like Gilbert Arena will give a pretty much his honest take on everyone else except when it comes to LeBron. And I'm tired of it, bro. Like everyone's just like, oh, Bronny, he's elite. Oh, he did a good dunk. Oh, he went crazy in a 3-point drill. Like, bro, they hyping it up. You know what I'm saying? They just like focus on the good stats. And I'm not saying he's gonna have good attributes. I'm just saying we're talking about, is he ready for the NBA? The first crazy thing was, this whole time they were saying he's 6'4", when he's really 6'1". That's a big difference, bro. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. But this just kind of caught my attention today. It was on ESPN, NBA Today, and it was just basically telling us what the scouts are actually saying after the NBA Combine. Because all we saw in the news was Bronny kills the NBA Combine. Bronny goes off in the scrimmage. He had 3 points the first day, 13 points the second. He went stupid. Like, this is all we're hearing, right? You know, so we want to hear what the actual scouts had to say about Bronny James. But let's get right into it, bro. I know I talked a lot, but I just had to get that out my system and put a disclaimer out that I'm not hating on Bronny James.
What scares you most about your future?
Maybe not.
What scares
This is
you most
LeBron
about
at age
your
19. Same age as Bronny.
Maybe not. Fulfilling a lot of other people's dreams.
The phenomenon is taken over.
I was had the poise to handle any circumstance.
One of the great performances of all time.
Adversity.
What a tough defeat for LeBron. Not 4, not 5.
Pressure.
The Miami Heat have won the title. Come on, right here. My city. I love you. I'm back.
This is for you.
I think it was a God-given
Kinda
ability.
like
But that only take you so far. And I want my damn respect too.
LeBron for the record.
But I think the issue
Trying to
is
play at a high level.
we need
is very
LeBron.
taxing. It's a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, and a lot of
We need headband LeBron back. I just want to put it out there. We need this LeBron back.
long hours. But if you love the game and you love the process,
been wearing
and
a
you love
headband
being great, then you don't mind.
He's been doing this. That's why he's losing.
All the fields. Welcome back to NBA Today, presented by Intuit Credit Karma. That was a 19-year-old LeBron James about to begin his NBA career. Now, his son, Bronny James, who is 19, by the way, is currently working out at the NBA Combine in front of scouts, just beginning his own journey to the professional level. Now, those words from LeBron over 20...
Bro, they try to say that Gilbert Arenas on Nightcap with like Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. He was saying that basically Bronny, he respects Bronny for going to the NBA Draft Combine because other players like Rob Dillingham and other players, they're probably too afraid to go to the Draft Combine and get beat and let the draft stock go down. If that ain't a spin, bro, if that ain't a spin, I don't know what is, because, bro, that doesn't even make sense. They don't have to go to the Draft Combine because their draft stock isn't low. Bronny has to go because he didn't do good in college. So, like, you're trying to make it one thing when it's another thing.
20 years ago feels so relevant today when discussing Bronny. So let's go from father to son. Take a listen.
No, never. My dream has always just been to put my name out, make a name for myself, and, of course, get to the NBA. I never thought about playing with my dad, but he's brought it up a couple times. Everyone's heard this before. I just want to, have people know my name is Bronny James, and not being, identified as just LeBron James' son. I feel like that would...
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's tough because your dad's LeBron James, of course, right? But, nigga, your name is Bronny James. Your name is LeBron James Jr., bro. LeBron, like, how do we not associate you with LeBron James, bro? It's gonna be. This is a very uphill battle. Bryce has it way easier. I'm not gonna lie to you. He got the height. You know what I'm saying? And his name ain't Bronny James. It's Bryce James.
Yeah, great angle.
Mark, you were just in Chicago for the Combine.
Yeah.
What are the scouts saying about Bronny?
Well, they wanted to reserve judgment until they saw him. They did see he was listed as 6'1", and they did see.
I feel like I'm glad because finally someone is gonna. I feel like it's gonna be like I did see a little bit of clip of this. Finally, someone is gonna give an honest take of Bronny James. Finally, we're gonna have an honest take of Bronny James at the NBA Draft Combine.
He had a 40.5 vert. But I was like, what would you do right now before he goes and plays? What would you do? And they said, we wouldn't draft him. Both of them said they would not draft him. I said, okay, let me give him a couple days. Let's see what happens after they watch him play. Now, this is their take after watching him play.
6'1.5".
Scout 1. I still don't think he's ready, but he did some good things. He's on the smaller side, so he's going to have to be elite on defense. You can see he has good vision, makes right passes, takes good shots. He's probably going to need more time. If the Lakers don't draft him, I don't see anyone drafting him. Teams would want him on a two-way, and I don't think Clutch would want that. It gets a little tougher. The other scout I talked to, positional athlete, doesn't function as an elite athlete, tweener stuck between two positions. Should be a point guard based on his size, but he can't run an offense. He's handicapped as an undersized shooting guard because he can't shoot. 0-4 on threes on one day.
Finally, someone saying it, bro, because I saw the stats. I'm like, in the shooting drills, he went crazy, I guess. But in the scrimmage, 0-4 from 3 is like not a great stat. Just saying.
For 3 the other day. Needs screens to create space, and his only scoring came on paint, touch, flow.
I know he was like coming off a heart injury or whatever, but still, bro. 37% from the field is not good, man. 27% from the 3 is terrible.
And can only go left. His strength is supposed to be defensively, but he's a switch matchup. Every bigger player who switched on him scored. He's a poor man's Davion Mitchell.
Damn, bro.
He is not an NBA prospect, in my opinion. Not my words of 2 veteran NBA scouts.
Look, you have to commend his professionalism because when they asked him the questions, he answered almost perfectly.
Yeah.
I saw
Great kid.
him work
Great
out,
kid.
and he was shooting the ball well. He had the 40-inch vertical. So in some fairness, he did himself some credit coming from college where he didn't have the numbers showing up in the Combine. But I do like the comp because Davion Mitchell's what he said.
He said a poor man's Davion.
But still, at least Bronny understands that that is the goal. Davion Mitchell.
And here they go trying to spin it again. But I swear, LeBron got all these motherfuckers on payroll. All these motherfuckers is on payroll right now. Because no matter when they bring up Bronny, they always flip it. Like, you can bring up, bro, yeah, he only had 2 points this game. Well, yeah, but his defense was good, and he brought a lot of energy to the team. He had 2 fucking points. Like, anyone else, they would have been like, yeah, he's a bust, he's not good. But because it's Bronny, they got to flip it. She got to switch it around. Watch her flip it.
Drew Holiday, Derek White, that is the goal, and I respect him for that.
But they did say, what is the rush?
I mean, it's his
Look, Davion Mitchell was a lottery pick, okay?
Yeah,
And he's a very good defensive player.
Poor man's Davion Mitchell.
But overall, when you're LeBron James' son,
they keep trying to flip it, bro. I want to hear what Kendrick Perkins got to say. Is he on LeBron's payroll too, or
much
what?
is going to be made about himself, his measurements at the Combine. He killed the three-point competition, shooting that star drill, showing his athletic skills in hopes of improving his draft stock. And there's no one better to bring in on this than our draft expert, Jonathan Gavoni. Jonathan, you've been at the NBA Combine all week in Chicago, and you've seen Bronny's workouts in person. I know you'll have plenty of mocks from now until June 26th, but where are you projecting Bronny James today?
Sinead, this was a positive week in Chicago for Bronny James. He's moved into the late second round of our latest projections. We're going to have him at 54 in our next update. That's all the way from the back end of our top 100. Talking to NBA people out here, they feel like he's legitimized himself as a real NBA prospect. He's not just some kind of sideshow, LeBron's son that, the cameras are following him, which that is the case with him. But I just think that The way he shot the ball in drills, the athletic testing. His first day in the 5-on-5 was pretty bad, but yesterday played a great role helping his.
You see how they breeze by that? Niggas was saying the first day was good. When the first day came out, because that was the first day, they had to spin it, of course. They was like, yeah, bro, like he did really good in the shooting drills, and this was the stats for this. No one was really saying what it was. You know what I'm saying? But then the second day came out, and now they consider the first day wasn't that good.
His team to a win, playing good defense, making shots, just showing his feel for the game, his versatility. People love his attitude, his enthusiasm, the way that he understands the type of player that he is. This was a very good week for Bronny James in Chicago.
Yeah, just watching the videos, I've really loved his professionalism. But we all know that there are never uniform opinions on any draft prospect, especially those that are not in the lottery. So it's truly subjective. What are you, though, hearing from scouts about Bronny's draft profile overall?
Bronny James is a very polarizing player, both in the media and among fans, and also with NBA scouts. There is a segment of the NBA scouting population who have already decided a long time ago that Bronny James is not a real basketball player, and they want nothing to do with him. And he could.
I'm not saying that he's not a real basketball player. I want to make that clear. Bronny James is absolutely a real basketball player. He probably can give anybody buckets. He probably could give me a couple buckets. But we're talking about the NBA here, guys. That's what we're talking about. We've seen the best of the best not make it in the NBA or not, pan out in the NBA career. That's what we're talking about. I just want to make that clear.
Go and have a triple-double in his next game, and they'd still be set in the fact that he's not an NBA player, and the only reason that we're talking about him is because of his last name. Now, there is some truth to that. That's where a lot of the intention comes from. But Bronny has done a good job of showing that he deserves to be on the radar. He was just as good as a lot of the other players that played 5-on-5. And he's a guy that has a real role at the NBA level as a 3-and-D off guard who can make shots, defend his position, play with energy. I compare him to like a Gabe Vincent or a Gary Harris type player.
Interesting. Gabe Vincent, Gary Harris. I know he said Davion Mitchell, Drew Holiday. Those are the type of guys he looks up to. But still, I know there are a lot of opinions. In your mock, I trust. So thank you so much, Jonathan, for always stopping by to prep us ahead of the big day for these young men. We appreciate you.
When I'm looking at Bronny, do I think he could be a pro? Absolutely. He's going to be a role player as a professional. That's okay. I can see his ceiling if he reaches his ceiling of being an Eric Bledsoe type player, but that's in years to come. It's going to be a development process. He's going to have to go to the right organization that's going to be willing to be patient with him. But at the end of the day, right, we're talking about Bronny, and my thing is I want him to write his own book.
This man look like he's still in like a early 2000 draft day, man. Like, look at him, shoulder pads with no neck. That's kind of a devious fit, bro. With a skinny tie, damn, bro, you got too much money to be dressing like that, Kendrick Perkins.
And I didn't like when LeBron showed up to the draft combine for the simple fact that if you're trying to detach yourself from him, then you don't show up. You let him have his moment.
Look, here's what I liked. I like that we finally heard from Bronny. I know you did like the first interview with Bronny a couple of years ago at the combine up there, or the Hoop Summit up in Portland. But we have not heard that much from him in his own voice, in his own words. I actually like that he said, that's my dad's dream to play together. Like, I like that he addressed that he knows where exactly where he stands. Because until this, we've kind of just seen him post on Instagram. Like, we've seen highlight videos, but he has not spoken for himself all that much. And so I think that's a good sign. I think what I'm hearing, look, he's not a Nepo baby, okay? That's what you're basically saying. Like, he's a legitimate NBA player. Now, is he a starter? Is he an all-star? Not at this point in his development. Can he get a two-way contract someplace? Is that the best path for him? I don't know. I mean, and I think that's where the fact they had a coaching change at USC, that he's in the draft, that he kind of lost some of his offseason and this season because of his health issues. That's where he needs some more time to bake, clearly. But where's the best time for him to bake? Is it in the NBA on a roster where people are invested in his development? Or is it in a college where...
To their point, though, what I will say is, because I think the other dude was like, oh, what's the rush? I think it is a rush because I believe if LeBron if Bronny stays in college and that kind of like, ether stay kind of like in between college and the NBA, he's gonna fizzle out. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I think people are still, because he only played one season, he had the heart thing. People are still willing to give him that benefit of a doubt. But if he goes to college, right, and stinks it up again for another year, then the benefit of the doubt suddenly turns to, hell no, he's not going to the NBA. We're not going to give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? Because there still is a mysterious maybe around him. That maybe is kind of what's getting him in the door, I think. Obviously, he's LeBron James' son, but it's the maybe around him that's getting him in the door. So if he stays in college for a couple of years or so, I think it's going to hurt him. It's going to have, it's a risk, you know what I'm saying? But it has more of a chance to hurt him than help him. Once you're already in the NBA, you know what I'm saying, you already get in the door, it's probably harder than, you know, trying to get in the door in the first place. So I definitely see why he's not going back to college and why he's, you know, doing the draft combine and doing whatever he has to do again in the NBA this year, because this might be his only opportunity.
Where he has another coach that he feels.
Also, bro, this is probably one of the weakest draft years. Like, look at the mock draft, bro. Like, it's not like one of the years where we had, like, you know, the Andrew Wiggins or like the Zion Williamson. Like, those are stiff competition. This year, there's obviously some good players, but I think this is his best chance.
Feels comfortable with.
You can only make this decision once, right? And I also asked the scouts, does him going back to college improve his draft stock? One of the scouts said, I do think in 4 years or after 4 years, he's a legitimate NBA player. The other one said, no, I just see him as an old senior.
Hey, look, let me say this. We have to stop. We have to stop. As the media and everybody else shining the light on Bronny, because it's other players that are deserve our attention, right? The lottery guys, the guys that are actually that are going to get drafted in the first round. Like, we're talking about a guy, a young man, that's possibly going to go late second round or not getting drafted at all. I've never, in my 4 years of working here, I've never sat on the table where we're talking about a second round pick.
But this is LeBron James' son, and that is a legitimate storyline that one of the greatest of all times has a son trying to play in the NBA at the same time.
And you have to give Bronny credit for actually trying to say the right thing.
Bro, these women are on his meat. Oh my goodness. Kendrick, I feel you, brother. I feel you, man. I feel the same exact way. Like, obviously, we know why we're talking about it. You know, it's hot, but it's just like, do you understand how crazy this sounds, bro? Oh, this is a very successful day, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, like, not getting drafted at all, he's projected late second round. Woo. I feel you, bro. This shit's crazy.
Going up in the right places, and at the end of the day.
And by the way, I like seeing LeBron in the stands as a proud dad. I like that. That's a great example for fatherhood.
He's the #1 scorer in NBA.
What does that have to do with his?
These niggas look at her, look at the women like, bro, y'all niggas is wildin', bro. Like, y'all just saying anything, bro.
Son being
look, Scottie Pippen's kid was playing on the Lakers.
We didn't shine the light on Scottie Pippen's son like this. We can't move the goalposts and feel like we go do it when it's convenient. For us.
When we say Nepo baby, that means that you have the same career, you know, parents to child. And so for those
somebody's a Hollywood producer, their son or daughter gets a job.
But if he has the same dreams and he does get a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. This is the guy but can we talk about this, y'all? This is a guy who's given his life to the game, LeBron James. And if the byproduct is that Bronny gets a little bit of a nod,
maybe there is though.
Maybe that's okay.
Because right now LeBron is still at the peak of his game where he has the leverage to maybe get the Lakers to draft his son.
And guess what? Maybe the team
you want it that way?
I wouldn't. However, if it's got to be done, that's the only way. That's the only way.
Look, I want Bronny to be successful.
I think all of us do.
But I'm also, I know, but I'm also being a realist here. Like, we're literally spending 10 to...
Somebody got to be a realist, bro. Somebody got to do it, because these niggas is not being real.
Well,
Look, if Stone, my favorite guy, Stone, was at the NBA Combine, I bet you will be working.
I get out of his way. I get out of his way. I get out of his way. See, here's the thing, right? Again, we're talking about a young man who's projected to go late second round, early first round. Like, I get it, man, but It's like, damn.
But if we're gonna fault the media for talking about it, fault the teams that actually might make the decision.
And I do think there's more teams than the Lakers that would take
maybe
him.
not necessarily for his talents right now. It might be
I want to hear from the team.
overall benefits of
I wanna hear
heritage
from the
and that.
team.
You don't see how many years all year you always see teams draft
then,
guys in Europe who are they're
look,
stashing overseas for
Get
another
ready
year.
for
or
the
two.
second day of the draft on our
100%.
network to be Bronny James Day.
That was a good episode, man. Yo, that's all I got, man. I just wanted to check this episode out, check the full episode out. I thought it was super interesting. I hope y'all enjoyed the video too. I'm glad someone for once, like this is the first time I've really heard actual, real, honest take on the whole Bronny James situation, because everything else out here just seems like people just, riding like LeBron's meat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? That's all I got for y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Let me know if y'all want more videos like this or what I can do better in the video. And also make sure y'all check out one of these other videos up here. That's all I got for y'all, man. Fuck with you and I fuck with you. Peace and blessings, bro. Peace and blessings.